and welcome to Cook with Clara. My name is Clara and this is the place that you want to be if you want to learn how to cook with feeling. On today's episode, we are making risotto, Italiano risotto. And risotto is the equivalent of love. So if you are looking for a bit of love and are in the need of a little bit of love and you don't really get it anywhere, you can make it yourself in a dish on the stove. To make risotto, we start by frying onions and garlic. Then we add the risotto rice itself with a bit of butter, a little bit of white wine to it, some stock, and then we add the asparagus and the parmigiano and salt and pepper. It's super quick and very easy. To make risotto, you need warm stock. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my vegetable stock that I've got here and put it on and let it start simmering. Next step is to chop the onion and the garlic. And next is the garlic. That's not very loving, was it? The whole experience of making this love-filled risotto actually starts just by frying onions in butter. And I think onions frying in butter is just everybody's favorite smell. Pot on to medium heat, olive oil and butter. First, I'm going to add the onions, let them saute a little bit, and then a little bit later, I'm going to put the garlic in, not right in the beginning. Garlic cooks faster than onions, so you want to put the onions in first. So where everybody else thinks that risotto means constant stirring, please just abandon that idea. It's complete rubbish. Actually, what you need to do when you're making risotto is stir every now and then. By stirring too much, you're releasing too much starch of the rice, and then it becomes stodgy and gross. This is gorgeous. The smell already of onions cooking in butter and olive oil is just pure food joy and love. I'm going to add the garlic now. The onions are just a little bit translucent and then we can start. So the next part is adding the beautiful star of the show, the risotto. I'm going to use 1 cup. I've added the risotto to the onions, and this is the beautiful part because we're going to fry it just a little bit in the residual butter and oil that's still in the pot. And this is where the real flavor comes out in the dish. So I'm not going to stir it too much, just every now and then. Obviously you don't want it to catch, so you stay with it and move it around. It smells heavenly. Let's just test if the wine's okay. Wait, I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. It's okay, good. The lovely thing about risotto actually is that you have such beautiful stages of cooking this dish, so you can actually really take your time with it. Don't be rushed. Don't forget that you're busy cooking love. You can't make rushed love. You can see that the rice is becoming translucent on the outside, just a little bit. And that's when you know that it's time to add the wine. That rhymed. Lovely. Risotto requires your attention. Not too much attention. Do not smother it with love, but it requires your attention. I've added the wine. It needs to evaporate before I can start adding more stock. That's the thing about risotto. You add the stock and then it evaporates and then you add more. I need a ladle. Ladle. In the meantime, whilst your risotto is cooking, you can start prepping your asparagus. Asparagus needs very, very little cooking time. It also needs a rinse. All you do is hold it underneath the running water. The sand is in here. Shake it out like this, and that's how you rinse asparagus. Lovely, lovely, lovely. The liquid has reduced, and as soon as that happens, you can just add another ladle of the stock. There we go. Give it a quick stir. Make sure it's all combined, and leave it. And back to your asparagus. Asparagus has very hard bottoms here when it comes out of the packet. So what you want to do is just trim that off. And then what you do is simply just slice them into relatively thin pieces because we're not even going to pre-cook these. We're going to add them straight to risotto. The heat of the risotto will cook them in seconds. Obviously leave the heads intact because this is the best bit. Right, all we have to do now is wait for the risotto to cook. I can add another ladle. The thing about risotto is that it also must not be overcooked. Once it's overcooked, it becomes very stodgy. So the great thing about making a nice risotto is that it has a bit of a bite to it. So it's al dente, what we also refer to as al dente. Whilst the risotto is cooking, I'm going to be finishing the rest of my stuff, which is the chopped parsley. Don't forget, the fresh, soft herbs you add always right towards the end because you want them to keep their aromatics and you want them to keep nice and fresh. And now I'm going to grate my cheese. The Parmesan is there to refine the dish, not to overpower it. So we're just using a little bit of it. You can always put in, you can never take out. Why am I adding warm stock? Because warm stock helps to cook the rice. Every time I would add cold water, I would obviously have to start reheating again. So you have to keep your stock warm in order for the rice to cook the right way. Handy hint. See if it's beautifully al dente, has a bite to it, but not raw, obviously. And this is the right time to add your asparagus. Immediately you can start smelling the asparagus. Look how the color changes within seconds of getting to the heat. Next is the cheese. Asparagus is in, cheese is in. Last step, let's do the seasoning. Salt and pepper. The smell, the asparagus smell with the butter and the cheese, and it's just so lovely. It's full of love. And the risotto is cooked. How long was that? 15 minutes? Bring it over here. I'm adding a block of butter to it. The cold butter at the end just makes everything beautifully creamy and just brings the whole dish together. And then we can add the chopped parsley. I've just checked the time. It's not been 15 minutes. It feels like it's been 15 minutes because it's been so quick and so easy. It's been around 25 minutes. And stir it one last time. Make sure that the butter really gets in there. And now to eat the love that you've cooked. I'm salivating so much that I'm having difficulties to talk. Look at that. Bit of stringiness there. I mean, you're not well if you don't like this. We're gonna sprinkle a little bit of this on top for garnish, and then that's it. I'm so excited. And we are going in for the gold. It has no words and it needs no words. It is perfection. If you've enjoyed our recipe today, please go to cookwithclara.com for the recipe and the video. And make sure to share this with your friends because everyone will love you for this. And remember, keep cooking and don't be afraid to feel your fabulous food, baby. Risotto for me is the equivalent of love. So if there would be love in food, it's risotto. Food love. Love food. Loving food. Food full of love. I've added the risotto to the onion. So it's back. Now I'm going to cut the cheese. Oh, boah, that was hot. Woo. Yes, but I'm schwitzing like a Schwitzer here, ne?